Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Christmas edition or a general holidays edition of the Marauder Morning Podcast, currently being broadcast from 3 different locations. We've got Mark, me, and Ryan all in our hometowns right now, currently enjoying a little winter break off from the schoolwork. Guys, how's it feel to not be doing school?
It's nice.
Very nice. Yeah. That's great. Along with Christmas, we've got another excellent, exciting series of events coming up, already started. That is the NBA season, which kicked off last night. We're getting our preview show in just a day late, but only 2 games happened, so we're doing okay. Today, the format of the show will just be going division by division. We're going to talk about who we think the best teams are, who the worst teams are, maybe a little over-unders for win totals. Just go like that, have nice little chats, and then maybe we'll hit some NFL playoffs towards the end of the show, and that should give us a whole podcast. Sound good to you guys?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Right on. Let's just get started then with our very first division, the Atlantic Division, and for my money, maybe the toughest division in basketball. I don't know how you guys feel, but we've got the Nets, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Raptors, and the Knicks. 4 of those teams are expected playoff teams, at least in my book. The way the odds go right now, the odds makers have the Brooklyn Nets as a plus 140 bet to win the Atlantic Division. And just for everyone who doesn't know what that means you bet $140 and you win $100. You bet $100 and you win $140. Other way around. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. We're kind of new to this. Guys, do you see it the same way as the odds makers? They have it going Nets, Celtics, Sixers, Raptors, Knicks in that order. How does that sound to you guys?
Nets, Celtics. Who was after the Celtics?
Sixers, Raptors, Knicks. I kind of like that. You know, Celtics are kind of the proven commodity, but maybe outside of the Sixers, maybe the biggest question mark as far as the contending teams, just with what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be. And Kemba Walker was hurt a lot towards the end of last year. So I don't feel super encouraged about his availability this year. And even just what I've seen from the preseason from this Nets team, KD looking about as close to 100% as you can hope from an Achilles tear guy. Kyrie is still Kyrie on the court. Say what you will off the court. I like the Nets. That bench looked really good last night. Karis LeVert, love him coming off the bench. Jared Allen is still coming off the bench as well. So Nets would be my pick. What about you guys?
Yeah, the Nets would definitely be my pick. I was reading last night about a couple of the coaching strategies that Steve Nash was running. He was running like certain people. He was running like Karis LeVert with a lot of the bench guys.
Yeah.
And their efficiency rating was like through the charts. And DeAndre Jordan, he was a monster. Like a lot of their key guys were playing really well. So I would say Nets number 1. Safe pick.
Yeah. Mark, Boston Celtics.
Same. No,
really?
The Nets are dangerous. Mr. Celtic.
I
mean, like last year, just watching Karis without KD or Kyrie, like you can see how he could score the ball, and seeing how they're still able to use him as like a 6th man and play with the second lineup. And he still dropped like 20 points yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of scoring on that team.
No,
and, they still have like Joe Harris and Dinwiddie and stuff. So.
That's right. Joe Harris is another guy that we can't forget about. Someone who signed a big contract this offseason, and is just going to have as many open shots as he want this year. Kyrie, KD, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert. Those guys are going to be attracting a lot of attention from defenses.
Yeah.
And Joe Harris could be a guy that benefits greatly.
I'd be disappointed if they traded Karis LeVert for Harden.
I would too. Yeah.
I think the team they have now is enough. So.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Mark, what do you see from that?
Yeah, same. I like at the beginning of the year, I was saying like, oh, they're definitely going to trade Karis just because I feel like Karis is going to want to like go somewhere where he would actually play. But like just hearing the announcers talk about like Steve Nash and how like he's talked to Karis and was like, yo, like you're definitely like starter quality, but like we just need you off the bench and like we could win a championship if you come off the bench. Like if he buys into that, like they're 100% like competing for that title.
Yeah, it's easy to say that a guy like Karis LeVert could be discouraged or frustrated with coming off the bench like that. He's a great scorer, like we saw in the bubble last year. But I think what makes a guy like that buy in is if you have a solid and real plan for him and what he's going to do. And even if he's coming off the bench, you know, I think guys like Dennis Schroeder, who's come off the bench for OKC for a few years, it always seemed like they had a real plan for him. And I think with Karis LeVert, they've told him he's going to be the leader of this second unit. He's going to have plays drawn up for him, and he's going to get some real scoring opportunities against bench players. He's not going to have to go against number one defenses. He's not going to have to run into all the toughest guys in the league. You know, if they play the Clippers, he's going to be able to avoid Kawhi on defense. So if I was Karis LeVert, I'd say, great, awesome, sign me up. And KD and Kyrie will take all the attention, and I can just play basketball.
Him and Montrezl Harrell are kind of in the same situation.
Right.
Harrell could definitely be in a starting position, but he's just, I don't know, he just like doesn't fit their starting lineup role. And so he just excels in the bench role. And that's why he was a sixth man. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if I was Montrezl Harrell, I'd be excited too, because I'd be saying, great, Anthony Davis, go take their toughest big man. And, you know, for 30 minutes of the game, I'll come in for 18.
Yeah, I'll go take the backup.
Yeah, I'll take the backup center. Sounds good for me. Let's talk about, we're all in agreement on the Brooklyn Nets. Let's talk about the other teams in this Atlantic division. The race for the number 2 spot is going to be close as heck. Boston Celtics, 76ers, Toronto Raptors. The Knicks we're going to count out of this one. So between those 3 teams, Celtics, Sixers, Raptors, the odds right now are plus 250 for the Celtics, plus 390 for the Sixers, plus 440 for the Toronto Raptors. So a little bit of a spread, but not too much. Pretty close as far as odds go, with Celtics being the favorite. Do you guys see it the same way?
I see it as Celtics, Raptors, and then 76ers.
Okay.
I don't think that the moves that the 76ers made are enough to push them past like where they want to be at. And I think the you can never count out the Raptors, because I counted them out last year and they still excel. So I don't know. I think Aaron Baines and a couple of the other additions that the Raptors made, I feel like when you come into the Raptors, like I feel like Nick Nurse does a good enough job of like talking them down and like letting them know like this is what's going on, like this is the plan we have, like you either buy in or you don't. Like it's proven to work. We don't need like a ton of superstars to get the plan working. And I feel like there's just too many egos on the 76ers to get it done. So that's my thinking behind it. And then Boston, Boston's just, I think they're the clear number 2.
Mark, I'll go to you first.
Ryan's just ripping your team, Duncan.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's okay. Talk about your Celtics. We'll come to me.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Tatum shows that he's worth that max contract this year, as well as like Jaylen Brown, because Hayward's gone, so Brown can get more touches. And I don't know about Kemba. This guy's always hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they're that second seed. But I think I would agree with Ryan about the Raptors and the Sixers. I'm just not a fan of the Sixers until like I see a change because I know they changed coaches this year, and I think it's definitely going to affect the way they play. And I do like the Seth Curry pickup. I think that Seth Curry's going to be dope on that team. But, yeah, the Raptors are just good. That system works. And, like, Siakam, Fred, OG, all the young dudes can hopefully show something this year. But.
Yeah. Look, I'm not enough of a 76ers fanboy to take them over the Celtics for second place. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think the Celtics are just too talented and have been together for too long to not be the number 2 team in this division. I'd still go my Sixers, number 3. I don't like what's going on with the Raptors here. I think this bench is getting real thin up there in Toronto. He signed Pascal and he signed Fred, and it just guys start dropping off. I love that they were able to retain OG Anunoby. I'm a huge fan of his. But outside of those 3 guys, I'm just not super inspired by what's going on with Toronto. I think 76ers, I think we've all given up on the Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid experiment too quickly. When they're out on the floor together, they work. They really do work. And they just need someone who can shoot the freaking ball, because neither of them can. But if they can get a couple shooters like Seth Curry in there and make it work, I'd pick them as my number 3 team. Also,
it's a toss-up for me. I'm not super set on the Raptors being third, but Sixers have shown some bad history.
That's true. No, it's not an inspiring track record. I'll give you guys that. I'm not going to argue with any of the negative points, but and then the New York Knicks. I guess we got to talk about
Austin
them.
Rivers.
They got Austin Rivers.
They might make play.
Instead of predicting where they're going to, because they're going to be last, let's go to the win total. Over under. By the way, we're playing 72 games this season in the NBA instead of the regular 82. Keep that in mind. Over under win totals. Vegas has it. The Knicks 14th in the East. Over under 22.5 wins. What do you guys think?
How many wins did they have last year?
Not that many.
22.5.
22.5.
72.
I'm going under.
Under.
I'm going under 20. I think this is a 19-20 win team.
Yeah, I'm gonna say under.
Under.
I don't see them.
Mark, are you confident enough to hit the over?
I'm gonna give them the over.
The over.
Very slim over. They're probably gonna get like 23 wins.
How many wins did they get last year?
Here, I'll pull up last year's standings just so we have them. Someone talk about how bad the Knicks are while I'm doing that.
Who'd they get? They have
I don't
Julius
think
Randle.
They're not that bad. They're just too young to be a good team. Like they have Randall, Robinson, RJ Barrett, Dennis Smith Jr., Obi Toppin.
What about that French guy?
For that guy this year. Frank Ntilikina.
Ntilikina.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. They just have like a lot of like young talent that isn't proven yet, and I think they need to trade some of that away for an established guy before they start getting the wins.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, they've got a bunch of stuff that doesn't really account to anything. So, I don't know.
Honestly, like looking at the East, though, I feel like every team that was in that bottom kind of 7 teams or bottom like 6 teams, they all like improved.
Yeah, like so you're talking about improved. Wizards, Hornets, Bulls, Knicks, Pistons, Hawks, Cavs.
Cavs are staying down
Cavs
there,
suck.
But the Hawks, Pistons, I think improved a bit.
Yeah, I'd say everyone improved somewhat except the Knicks and the Cavs.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they're 14, 15.
Yeah, but we'll probably get into this a little later, but I think that lower part of the East is so much better than it was last year. It's going to be hard for, like the Orlando Magic a couple of years snuck into the 8th seed by being pretty much average. Yeah. So I don't think it's not the LeBron James mid 2010s Eastern Conference anymore. We've got some real players. So I think the East could be the most exciting it has been in a long, long time. Should we move on to our next division, guys? Are we done with the Knicks?
Yeah, I'm going over. A condensed season, okay. 23 wins. I'm going it.
I'll write these down after. I'll watch back the show and I'll write them down, and we'll revisit a little later in the season, see how we're doing. Let's go on to the Central Division then. This one is headlined by the Milwaukee Bucks, which are minus 1450 odds, and that means you would have to bet $1,450 to win 100 on the Milwaukee Bucks winning that division. Second is the Indiana Pacers. Then third is the Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers, Detroit Pistons. Woof, I forgot how bad the Central Division was. It's Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm playing. Mark, you don't have a hot take you want to throw out for everyone? Indiana Pacers, Chicago Bulls.
Killian Hayes is going to go crazy now. Yeah, it's done.
Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen all make the All-Star team. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They have a really easy division. That's crazy.
Yeah, look, the
Makes
Bucks
sense
are going
to win so much.
Yeah, the Bucks they cakewalk every regular season, and maybe people can see why, because these are the guys they got to play for a big bulk of their schedule. let's just move on from the Bucks. I think that's a pretty cut and dry conversation. Let's go on to these other teams. I don't know really what to make of this. I mean, Indiana's way ahead of everyone else. They're plus 1,200. Next down is Chicago Bulls plus 6,500 to win that division. Do you guys see Indiana as that really clear number 2 team in the division?
I think they have like a Boston situation, whereas like the teams behind them are so far gone that they can take that clear number 2. And Indiana has like a nice team. Like their starting lineup of Miles Turner, TJ Warren, Oladipo, Sabonis, and then Bogdan. Like that's a like nice lineup if they can all play how they're supposed to play. But like you just never see it. You never see them making any impact in the league. So I don't know. They're like a solid number 2 in that Central, but they're disappointing. So
yeah. Mark?
Yeah, I really like Sabonis, and I think Oladipo's hurt a lot for last season, right? And
yeah.
So hopefully he can still play a bit. I haven't seen him play in a while, so he'll definitely add some offense to that team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For me, this really comes down to Victor Oladipo, and TJ Warren's an interesting case. What he did in the bubble, it's like, whoa, TJ Warren, you kind of got to sit up and take notice.
Even before he was on the Pacers, when he was on the Suns, he was averaging 20 points.
Yeah.
And people didn't realize that, and they just traded him away for like nothing. And I was like,
I know.
What are you doing? And then now he's
I had him on my fantasy team.
Yeah,
he was a bucket.
He's an offensive threat, man.
Yeah, I got him on my fantasy team this year, so I'm hoping I get some more 50-point games out of him. I took the flyer towards the end. Yeah, I mean, it comes down, and then Victor Oladipo coming off that knee injury, who knows? But if he can be Victor Oladipo, another guy I took on my fantasy team, so maybe I am betting hard on these Indiana Pacers. I didn't even realize it. Yeah, sure. I'll take Indiana to be the number 2 team. Although I would say, watch out for Chicago. Billy Donovan, our 2020 Coach of the Year, is now in Chicago. I joked about Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, but if those guys can get something going, Zach LaVine is the oldest of those 3 guys, and he's still only like 26 years old. So he's got a lot of room to grow. Lauri Markkanen, I think, has almost no ceiling. He's an awesome power forward, and he can be really awesome if he unlocks that. And then Kobe White, I don't really know about. We'll see. I think he's a little small to be a point guard in the NBA, but that's a classic cold take that gets proven wrong time and time again. So I'll be happily wrong if Kobe White can be a good point guard. I'd love to see the Chicago Bulls be good again.
And then Wendell Carter Jr.
Wendell Carter Jr. That's a good one.
Solid
down there, center. Yeah, he's really young too. He's only like 24 or something.
Yeah,
maybe even younger than that. So, yeah, I'd go with Pacers, but I'd say watch out for the Bulls? ?
Who's the other team in that conference? Detroit.
Cleveland and Detroit.
That division, true. That's a weak division.
They've got Cleveland ahead of Detroit. Actually,
really?
I don't care. Yeah,
those guys are gonna battle. It doesn't really matter. Place in the whole league, so.
Yeah, I mean Cleveland has Kevin Love. Detroit has Blake Griffin. Yeah, that's right.
Drummond.
They swapped Andre
Drummond went from the second place worst team to the worst team.
I feel so bad for Andre Drummond. He could have been really good if he had literally anyone to ever play with.
If he joined a super team?
Yeah.
I went from Detroit to Cleveland. Those are 2 trash cities.
And he picked up his player option, eh?
Well, it was like $40 million, and he wasn't going to get that anywhere else. So, yeah, I don't really blame him for that.
Well, 40 mil championship,
Yeah. Hey, if you're going to be in Cleveland, you might as well take $40 million.
Yeah, literally.
With it.
Yeah.
That's your best case Cleveland scenario. All right, are we good on the Central Division? I think that one's going to be pretty.
I think I have more faith in the Pistons than the Cavs, though. So.
The Cavs and Blake Griffin?
It's just a matter of when the Cavs sell Kevin Love and Andre Drummond.
I think Cleveland has more interesting pieces to me. They've got that backcourt, Darius Garland and
Colin Sexton.
Yeah, I don't know. If they're good, then the team could be good. I don't think they're going to be good. But hey, at least with Cleveland, I've got something that I can point to that says maybe. But with Detroit, I don't know. Are we banking on Jeremy Grant and Blake Griffin to?
No,
they're a mess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, that's the Central Division. It's making me sad to talk about
Any
it.
over-unders?
Weak. So
Over under. Maybe Indiana's a good one. Let's look at Indiana. Indiana's over under is 39.5. That is very interesting.
So 500 record.
72 games. So
kind of like
40 and 32. Kind of.
I'll say over.
I'm gonna go over too. Yeah, this is a tough one.
40 and 32. I'm gonna go under, but also like a very slim under.
Yeah, this one's real close to me.
Yeah.
I'm just going over because I got those guys in my fantasy and trying to speak it into existence.
Come on, TJ Warren.
Come on, TJ. Come on, Vic. Yeah, good call on the over-under there. Let's go to the Southeast Division. This one's a little more interesting. We've got Miami Heat at the top, plus 300. Then Atlanta, Washington, Orlando, and Charlotte. This division has a lot of those middle-class kind of Eastern Conference teams. Miami is plus 300, and then Atlanta is only plus 600 to win this division. Miami is minus 300. That makes a lot more sense. Miami clear favorites in your guys' mind?
Oh, yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah, but not by much.
Really? Yeah, not as much as the Bucks. I mean, they're not that obvious, but I just don't see a world where Miami isn't number one in this division. Like,
but I think the Hawks will be close because I think things are gonna work out for everyone in the Hawks, and I think like if the Heat get like 45 wins, I think the Hawks will have like 43 or something. I think it'll be like but within like 2 games. That's my prediction.
You know, I see Miami as clearly the number one, but I've got a hot take alert. I just thought of this now. Wasn't pre-planned. I'm going to go Washington Wizards number 2 over the Atlanta Hawks. I'm not a Russell Westbrook defender traditionally. I'm not a Russell Westbrook hater either. I tend to come right down the middle. I'm a Russell Westbrook realist. But Bradley Beal, hey, some of the other stuff, sure. Atlanta, I just don't know. I just like to see, we've talked about building this team around Trae Young, and I'd just like to see a team that works around Trae Young before I pick him for anything. Westbrook's not going to win you a championship. But I feel
he might.
Good.
You never say never.
I'll say never. But I think he pretty easily gets you in the playoffs. Him and Brad Beal.
And Rui Hachimura.
Rui Hachimura. Yep.
Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, he's a good role player.
And Bertans.
Yeah. Bertans, yeah. I'm gonna go Washington Wizards number 2. And Orlando is creeping around back there too. Vucevic, Markelle Fultz is on the team. They've got some interesting pieces. I don't really see them pushing past Hawks or Wizards, but they're lurking back there. Mark, how do you read this division?
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, I'm not sold on Atlanta.
Right.
But like Miami's definitely number 1, and then 2, 3 is up in the air between Washington and Atlanta for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I don't know, like Westbrook and Beal, they could be good. I haven't watched a game. I haven't watched a Wizards game yet, so I don't know how they look. But Atlanta's just super young, and I don't know if they can really move past. What were they last year? 14th in the league.
Yeah, they were last in the East, I think.
To get 20 more wins this season, that's a lot. It's like a big switch.
Yeah, I just like to see it happen, and maybe that's a lack of faith. but I just feel better about Russell Westbrook, at least in the regular season, doing something for you. Let's take a look. Charlotte Hornets plus 3,000 to win the division.
They're so bad.
Gordon Hayward. Yeah, that's not happening.
Cody Zeller.
Cody Zeller. Yeah, is he gonna take off this year? I have Devontae Graham on my fantasy team again, though. So
I have him too in another league.
Knock on wood. Maybe Devontae Graham just gets a bunch of shots
while
they're losing by 40 points.
I might have to cancel my trade acquisition for Gordon Hayward because I already dropped him. So I dropped him before he started. So if he proves me wrong, then yeah. But
he's out
there's
there.
Not much to be hopeful about the Hornets.
No.
It's a lot of entertainment, a lot of highlights.
Yeah,
it's a cool highlight. I will say LaMelo Ball, cool highlights.
He's not looking bad.
Cool highlights.
Cool highlights, bro.
Yeah.
The passes are real. Look, the passing is real. It's elite. Yeah. The jump shot looks okay, which is a massive improvement over horrendous and ugly. So,
yeah,
good on him. Good luck.
They have too many guards.
Yeah, they got a lot of small guards. I guess LaMelo's like 6'7", though. I keep thinking of him as a tiny guard, but he's 6'7". So
that's another team that needs to trade a couple of these guards to get like a proven player.
I'd be behind trading Devontae Graham, honestly. Like, he's coming up on the end of his rookie deal. He's going to command some money. And if you're Charlotte, why would you even bother paying a mid-level guy like that? You can probably get some good trade value for him, maybe a first-round pick, lottery protected kind of thing. I don't know. I would just get him out of the building before that contract comes up. Who do you guys want to look at over-unders for this division? How about Atlanta?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's do it, man.
Let's do Atlanta and the Wizards. Atlanta is 36.5 over-under win total.
Over. You guys don't have the faith that I do.
I'm gonna lightly tap the under. I'm gonna go slightly under 36.5. That, I don't know. I think they're gonna be right around 500, just over, maybe.
Yeah, because like 36.5 or 37 wins would get them in what, like the 6th, 7th seed in the East?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. I mean, Vegas does their job. They do a good job of setting these over-unders.
I was looking at Atlanta last year, and apparently they had the 28th ranked defense efficiency.
Yeah,
so that's another reason why they were bad in the East. So, I mean, Gallinari is not gonna bring your team to like the first defense in the league, but I hope they can be better. Like, I hope.
Yeah, Trae Young needs to do something. Like, the problem with last year is they were playing with 5.5 guys worth of scoring with all of Trae Young scoring and on offense, and then they were playing with 4 guys on defense because Trae Young was nothing. He needs to just something. Like, he doesn't need to be all defense first team. Don't need that out of him, but like just
a little more
something. Just be there, stand in front of someone, and yeah. So, yeah, the defense is really tough for me. And like you said, Danilo Gallinari and Brogdon's a pretty good defender. Not bad. Yeah.
They added a lot more offense for sure.
Yeah, that's right. I think they're going the route of let's just score as many points as we can before run up the score. So I think they'll be in a lot of like 135 to 128 games this season. They're not going to be the win 86 to 79 team ever. No. But if they can win like that, best of luck to them. Let's talk Wizards over under. This is another interesting one. 32.5 for the Washington Wizards. Over or under?
I say over.
I'm on over too.
I say under.
This is good. We're doing a good job. We've got lots of conflicting.
I love Westbrook. Like, I love Mr. Triple Double. I think he's great. I think Beal is great, and I think they're gonna work. But I don't know. Just the rest of the team is just. Nah, it just doesn't do it for me.
Just doesn't do it. Yeah,
No.
like I totally get it. I'm not gonna sit here and preach Washington Wizards to you as the best team in the
Yeah.
NBA. But like, hey, it's kind of got me interested, and every time the more I think about it, I'm a little more convinced. But I'm sure as soon as they start playing games, I'll be reminded
You'll
of
be
who Russell
humbled.
Westbrook is. I'll go, oh yeah, that's right.
When he clangs a 3 off
Yeah.
the backboard or something.
Yeah, exactly right. Mark, did you say over under?
I said over.
Over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All
I'm just
right.
looking at the roster.
Yeah, who
It's
else?
bad.
Washington's roster?
Yeah, Washington's
Yeah, they're
roster.
real thin below those starting guys. Like,
You see what I'm saying, Mark?
real thin.
I'm still going over.
Yeah. You're not
Good
going
for
to
you,
sway
man.
me. Let's move it along then. That was the Southeast Division. Northwest Division. This is another
West.
really interesting one. A couple of these West.
This division, I feel like all these guys are worthy of making the playoffs. Like these guys are like they're not at the top yet, but they're definitely not at the bottom.
Yeah.
And like you can say that about every single team.
So here we go. The Northwest Division at minus 130 odds. Denver Nuggets to win it. Second is Utah Jazz at plus 220. Then Portland is third. And Minnesota is fourth with Oklahoma City bringing up the rear. I think let's start off by all agreeing that OKC is probably the fifth team in this division.
Oh, right. I forgot about all their trades and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they know what they are. So
yeah,
we can't criticize them.
Okay,
but...
never mind. Every single one of these teams except for the Thunder.
Right. Good good correction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ryan, you're 100% right. Nuggets, Jazz, Blazers, Wolves. I mean, three of those teams were in the playoffs last year. Timberwolves, we've been waiting on for years. Maybe this is the year they can finally get something going. Let's start at the top. Denver Nuggets. Do you guys see them? They're in the negative odds here. Do you see that as a clear division winner for you guys?
The Nuggets?
The Nuggets.
Oh, go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
I think they win, but again, I think it's like Atlanta. I don't think they win. Or yeah, I think it's like the Heat. They don't win by much. Like if they're winning, there's going to be either the Timberwolves, the Trailblazers, or the Jazz like right under them by like a couple games.
Yeah, I don't know. The Jazz are a really interesting case to me, and then also the Portland Trailblazers. You just always have to go Dame Lillard, right? Like, to me, he's the best. Well, let me think before I speak. Yeah, I think he's the best player in this division. You know, Jamal Murray could overtake that this year, but I think as of December 23rd, 2020, Dame Lillard is still the best player in this division. And in the NBA, that kind of counts for something, I think. So, I don't know. I would also go Denver Nuggets number one, but Portland might be my number two team. You know, I don't know. Mark.
Trailblazers picked up Covington too.
Oh, that's right.
That's a big piece.
Robert Covington's, nice defensive piece.
I agree. I think Denver's first, and Portland second, and then probably Utah, Minnesota, OKC.
Yeah. I think
that's a tough. Like the West is so wild. I'm looking at it right now. It's
really tough. Yeah, I think Minnesota. I think we all get kind of distracted by the shiny object of Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. Those guys are great. Like, don't get me wrong, but everything behind them is so brutal. I mean, you've got guys like Naz Reid playing like significant minutes for them. It's like, Naz Reid, no, like, I love you, but you're not a starting NBA quality player. So the roster is just so thin behind them. And yeah, I think they're the fourth team. Oklahoma City, pretty clearly the fifth team. And then, I'm going to agree with you, Mark. Denver, Portland, Utah. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's Nuggets, Trailblazers, T-Wolves, Jazz, then Thunder.
Really?
I think the T-Wolves are better.
Trailblazer. Wait, hold on.
Mark, you
Say
better
again. Nuggets, Trailblazers.
oh boy,
Nuggets, Trailblazers, and then T-Wolves, Jazz, and then Thunder. I think the T-Wolves are better than the
so
Jazz.
Ryan, you better go put
Wow.
this bet in because right now the Minnesota Timberwolves are plus 2,700 to win the division. So
Okay, I don't think they're gonna win the division, but
Is that to win the
You said-
division or to
yeah,
win the championship?
to win the
Okay.
division. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. So
I
let's
was
go
about
over.
to switch it. I was gonna say OKC's going for that second last spot, and Timberwolves are gonna be last.
oh wow, okay.
Timberwolves aren't that bad. You know, Al
I'm looking at
Horford's
the
not
roster
going
right now.
See, I don't have the Jazz at third because a lot like Kemba, Mike Conley was good in Memphis, and then he just kind of dipped off in the Jazz.
Yeah, Mike
So
Conley.
I need
lost
him
cause.
I need him to bring back what he was in order to be like, okay, the Jazz are clear number 3.
Yeah, the Jazz are another one of those thin kind of teams. You're relying on like Derek Favors and Mason Plumlee. Oof. Let's go to the over-unders. This could get really interesting.
I'd say Portland. I think that would be an interesting one.
Portland. All right. Portland is 41 and a half, and the Utah Jazz are at 42 and a half.
Oh,
So let's go Portland. What do you guys think? 41 wins.
over.
Oh, Mark, go first.
Mhm.
41 and a half.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Give me a second. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go under. I think they're 30-something wins. Jazz, I would also go under.
Yeah, Jazz is definitely
Under. Mark?
Yeah, I think Jazz are under. I'm gonna go over for Portland.
Yeah. All right. You know, again, that's what are we doing there? That's new. Yeah, no, I this one is so tough. Like, let's take a look at some of these other over under odds. Denver is at, again, really close, 44 and a half. And then Minnesota, they've got it 28 and a half wins.
Okay, over.
I'm telling you, they're bad.
They're bad.
No.
I'd probably go,
I'm gonna go under.
under.
Damn.
The West is tough.
I'm not going to bet on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I refuse to place a bet on that team. I decline. And then Oklahoma City, for the record, they've got it 22 and a half wins.
Over.
Smash the under on that one. I think they're in Tankorama.
Under.
Oh, bro, Lou Dort and Shea, they're gonna go off this year.
No, Shea's not there. Oh yeah, Shea is there.
Shea's
I
still
keep
there.
thinking he's still in the Clippers. That's wrong. Hey, I forgot about Shea. Al Horford. Can we get 2015 Al Horford back?
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, he's gonna be revitalized this season.
Jazzed up. Yeah, Northwest, really interesting stuff there. Let's go over to the Pacific, the big money division. LA Lakers and the LA Clippers, the Golden State Warriors, the Phoenix Suns, and the Sacramento Kings. Holy moly, the Sacramento Kings are plus 13,000 to win the division. Phoenix is plus 2,400. Sorry, Ryan, I should have told you to cover your ears. They are right now put in 4th place. Golden State is number 3 at plus 1,800. I think we're going to have a hot take coming from Ryan on the 3rd place spot there. And number 2 is the Clippers. Number 1 is the Lakers. Let's start at 1-2, the LA teams. Do you guys see this flipping this year? Is this finally the year that little brother beats big brother and the Clippers step out into the world? No, not happening. Yeah, I would probably tend to agree with that. Some thoughts?
I think what the Lakers added, aside from Gasol, I didn't like what I seen from Gasol last night.
Mm-hmm.
But Harrell and Schroeder and Matthews. I think those guys only upgraded them from the championship team that they were. And I think, like you were saying before, I think the Clippers perform well in the regular season, and then they kind of dip off from in the postseason. So them along with playoff P. So yeah, I think it's Lakers and then Clippers for me again.
Yeah, look, the Clippers beat the Lakers last night. Yeah, I think the Lakers were maybe taking a little stroll into the regular season, just kind of getting warmed up. Yeah, I don't see this flipping either. I would bet pretty hard on the Lakers to win this division. Mark, what do you think? Lakers, Clippers?
Yeah, I'm going to go Lakers. I mean, okay, Clippers may win the division, but
it's possible.
I think,
yeah, it's not impossible.
Like Paul George did look good last night. I'm not saying anything because I still don't trust him in the long run. But I feel like the Clippers may win the division, but the Lakers are still the superior team, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. You're absolutely right. I mean, they still got Kawhi, Paul George. Like, that counts for something in the NBA. So it's very, very possible. LeBron, year 18, nobody wants to see him missing any time, but he's 38 years old or whatever. And Anthony
going to be 36 in a couple of days.
36. Anthony Davis, a little history of injuries. It's possible. It's very possible as far as the regular season goes. All right, Ryan, a little chance for you to go off here, bud. Golden State plus 1,800. Phoenix Suns plus 2,400. Brian, how does that make
after watching the Warriors play the Nets last night? I know it's not an easy matchup, but along with the Wizards, I think you have a couple star players, and I think it dips off tremendously. Steph Curry is going to be Steph Curry. I mean, last night he just didn't shoot well, but he's still a lot better than how he played. Wiseman looked good.
Yeah.
So he's a bright spot in that lineup, but Wiggins played trash. Their bench didn't show up, and I think the Suns are a lot deeper. And I think Chris Paul is going to help Ayton a lot more than he's going to help Devin Booker, because I don't think Devin Booker needs help. So I think it goes Lakers, Clippers, and then Suns, and then Warriors, and then Kings. So that's my take.
I'm on board. I think the Suns are trending upwards, and the Warriors at best are treading water. So Devin Booker has been, ready to break out for a long time here. Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton is going to be another year that much better. I like it. Yeah, I would totally go Phoenix Suns number 3 to win this division. Mark, are you on board?
Yeah.
I think that Warriors game last night was telling of what they're going to kind of be this season. It's going to have to be Steph Curry taking over games.
Wiggins is so bad.
It was the same as last year, though. If you watch any games, as soon as the bench comes on, they're just a completely different team.
Yeah. The only guy I recognized on that bench was like Kent Bazemore.
And the Boston backup point guard, Wanamaker.
Oh, Brad Wanamaker's there. That's right. Yeah. That's going to be tough. Tough road for the Warriors to get anything done.
If Ayton doesn't get another drug test and end up being positive, I think the Suns are they're a lock in 3. So
a lock in 3. All right, let's head to the over-unders then. Phoenix Vegas has them 7th in the West, 38.5 wins.
Phoenix.
8th
in the West, you said?
7th.
I say over.
Ooh.
Oh, I lied. I'm talking about the West. No, the West is hard.
Over.
Over.
Didn't even talk about Sacramento. Screw Sacramento.
Yeah, forget Sacramento. That team's only going to be anything if Marvin Bagley can do something.
And Hassan Whiteside.
Woo! Oh man, Hassan Whiteside. Give me a break.
I think the Rockets and Thunder are out of the playoffs from last year's standings, and I think the Suns and the Grizzlies could take their spots.
That sounds good to me. So you're going over 38.5?
No, I say under, but they still make the playoffs.
I'm going to go under 2.
Yeah.
Just under.
Yeah.
I don't think they get to 40, 35, something like that.
Yeah. I say they get that like 7-8 spot.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm going to go over. Forget that. I'm going to go over. I'm going to give them 40 wins. I like the Suns. Boom.
They get the 7th spot, match up with the Clippers in the first round, and take them out. That'd be sick.
Hey, let's just start with getting Devin Booker in the playoffs, and
that'd be so
go
sick
from there. Just get him there.
Yeah.
Any other teams you want to take a look at in this division? Lakers are 46.5 wins. Clippers are 45.5.
Over for the Lakers.
Over for the Lakers. They'll probably go under for the Clippers.
Where are the Warriors at?
Warriors, so on the over-under, they actually have them below the Suns at 36.5. I'm going under.
I would say under, yeah.
Mark?
I don't think they get
under.
36.5, you said?
36.5.
For the Warriors?
Yeah.
36.5, that would make them 37 and 35. So, I mean, they would need a positive record, and I don't see that happening. So.
No, I don't see that either.
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. All right, let's move on. Nobody wants to talk about Sacramento.
But De'Aaron Fox.
It's just a depressing conversation. No, because then you just end up feeling really sad for De'Aaron Fox and really angry at everyone else.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah, Buddy Hield.
Buddy Buckets.
Let's go to the Southwest Division. This one headlined by the Dallas Mavericks and their superstar, Luka Doncic. They are minus 195 to win the division. Next up is the Houston Rockets at plus 480. And then we go down to the Pelicans, the Grizzlies at 4th, and the Spurs in last. This is an interesting division. Do we all agree with Dallas at number 1?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mark? All right. Let's lock that in. Dallas is our number 1 team. Number 2, what the heck do you do here? Because, all right, Rockets I mentioned are plus 480. Pelicans are plus 500. Real close. But then the Grizzlies are plus 950. And the Spurs, who are a playoff team, are plus 2,800.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think the Spurs got worse. So, well, let's make a sandwich. Do you guys agree with Spurs in 5th?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think,
yeah.
I mean, you need DeMar out of there and Aldridge and Rudy Gay. I think they've got some young pieces and they got old pieces. Yeah. They just need to commit to being young. Like they're like
Pop just has to retire.
Yeah. DeJounte Murray has never really become anything. Derek White.
He got injured last year.
Jakob
Poeltl is pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the sake of this, should we all agree they're the 5th team?
I'll put them last. Sure.
All right. So let's talk about these middle 3 teams. Houston, New Orleans, Memphis. How do you see this shaking out between those 3 teams? Rank them 1, 2, 3.
Pelicans, Rockets, Grizzlies.
Pelicans, Rockets, Grizzlies. I'm going to go Grizzlies. No, scratch that. Rockets, Grizzlies, Pelicans.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, you don't know if Harden's going to be playing this year.
I think Harden's stuck there. He's not going anywhere.
I think he's doing whatever he can to try and get out of it.
Based on that, I think they're going to, with James Harden, you just kind of fall into like 30 wins just simply by having one of the 5 best shooters in the league. So, what did I say? Rockets versus Pelicans?
Yeah.
I really want to pick the Grizzlies, but I don't know. Jaren Jackson is still kind of a question mark for me as far as what he can give you across a whole season. John Morant, we got to see him across a full season. Dylan Brooks, is he a legit starter? I don't know. And then the Pelicans, you got Zion. So, I mean, that's not a bad pick if you want to pick them to go second. Zion.
And they picked up Steven Adams.
Steven Adams is legit, one of my favorite centers in the league.
JJ Redick.
JJ Redick. BI
Yeah.
is their max contract guy.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball, guys.
Lonzo Ball.
Oh, okay. He's not even signed to the team.
He's going to get out of there next year.
Yeah, he's done. Man, I feel like whatever you pick, it sounds wrong, because I could argue Pelicans, Rockets, Grizzlies. I could argue how they have it: Rockets, Pelicans, Grizzlies. Yeah, the only one I can't pick is Grizzlies, the number 2 team.
They're just not there yet.
I don't know. Let's go to the over-unders. Houston, 34.5. Let's I'm assuming James Harden's in town for the whole season.
He's not at a strip club.
Well, I more meant on the roster. I don't know where he's going to be going in between games, but as far as official rosters go, I think he's on the team. So
he's on the team, then over. But if he's not on the team, then under.
34.5. Well, let me give you everybody. So Memphis, they have it 30.5. New Orleans, 36.5.
Wow.
Real tight between.
That's
I'm gonna go under for the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
I think Zion misses time again.
They're not that good.
They're not. They're really not. Brandon Ingram that contract was a bet. That was a hard bet on the future. So I'm going to go under for the Pelicans at 36.5, over for the Rockets at 34.5, and over for the Grizzlies at 30.5.
Yeah, I say for sure over for the Grizzlies too.
Over for the Rockets, under for the Grizzlies.
Under for the Grizzlies. Okay.
You're hating on Ja.
I love Ja. I think he's great.
Yeah, I love him too. And I think Ryan might be a little more realistic than I'm being right now. But I want to be realistic with Ja Morant. Stop putting realism into my my sports, Ryan.
Yeah.
Hey,
look at me over here with the Phoenix Suns. You think realism is a factor?
You know, hey, this is like the first year in forever you can be real about the Phoenix Suns and have it be a good thing. So
I hope.
Exciting year for you Suns fans. Chris Paul, let's go. Good times.
Yeah.
There we go. We kind of went through every division there, guys. Do you guys want to make some playoff picks? I feel like maybe it's a little early.
Playoff picks.
You know,
let's make some picks for tonight.
Oh, picks for tonight. This is going to come out tomorrow, so people can. You know what? Actually, I'll put this out today, so we'll get them out before the games.
Dedicated.
Today at 4 p.m. Wizards Sixers. Sixers favored by 7.5 points. Let's just pick them straight up. Sixers and the Wizards. I'm gonna go Sixers. Yeah, Wizards team needs some time. Mark.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Bucks.
There's a lot of games on tonight. Holy.
A lot
Bucks
of
Celtics.
Bucks Celtics.
Celtics.
Let's go.
Bucks. I'm going Bucks.
Oof.
Actually, forget that. I forgot who else was. I just thought Giannis and I picked Bucks, but I'm gonna go Celtics.
There we go.
This could be a really good game. Pelicans, Raptors.
Raptors.
Raptors only favored by 3.5 points. I'm gonna go Pelicans. This might be the only time all season that Lonzo and Zion and BI and Steven Adams are all healthy.
That's so true. Yeah.
You might get all 4 of those guys for one game and then never again. So sure. I'll pick the Pelicans to win this one. Thunder Rockets. The Chris Paul revenge game that Chris Paul's not a part of.
Harden might not be playing.
He's not even there anymore.
Cousins and Wall might not be playing. So.
Oh yeah, Cousins and Wall are out with
what?
COVID close contact stuff because James Harden went to a party. So.
Bruh. So who the heck's playing? Daniel House?
Christian Wood.
Christian Wood, yeah.
I'm gonna go Rockets on the back of Christian Wood.
Yeah, I'll say Rockets.
Wait a minute. You said John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins aren't playing tonight?
Not playing. COVID-19.
You snakes.
They
James
got the
Harden's
vid.
fault.
No, they might not have the vid, but they've come into contact with
Yeah,
maybe
they
the
were.
vid.
Yeah, they were hanging around James
That
Harden.
means I have to switch my fantasy team around.
Hey, can you wait till after the show to do your
Yeah,
fantasy
literally.
roster? We're recording a show here, man.
I will go with the
Playing
Thunder.
music?
No, it's my clock. My bad.
Oh,
Yeah, it's my clock.
That's very nice, gentle music in the background. All right, let's go. Jazz, Trailblazers.
Trailblazers.
Really, that quick?
Yep.
Mark.
Sorry, I have to wait till the music finished. I'm gonna go Portland.
I'm going to go Jazz. I think Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert are going to be strutting strong after their big paydays. Maybe a little full of themselves. Yeah, I'll go Jazz. Why not? I don't want them to win, but I'll pick them. Mavericks, Suns. This is a good one.
Oh, that's tonight.
That's my two favorite teams.
That's
gonna be such a good game.
That's a heck of a game.
Dang.
I'm going to go Mavs.
I'm gonna say Suns.
Yeah, you will.
I'm gonna go Mavs.
But I hope Luka pops off.
Yeah. Suns are favored by 1 point.
Damn.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Same with Utah.
Aren't they playing on Christmas too?
Mavericks, Lakers are on Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Suns are not a Christmas team.
Oof.
Just yet. Next year. We'll get it.
Okay.
Did everybody pick Mavs, Suns?
Yeah. I picked the Mavs.
Mavs? Yeah, I'm going Mavs. Kings, Nuggets. 1, 2, 3, Nuggets.
Nuggets. Yeah.
Okay. Nuggets.
Next. Spurs, Grizzlies.
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 I'm going to pick the Grizzlies as well. Favored by 2 points. That's real close. Yeah, I think these teams will have some interesting games this year, but I think the Spurs are just kind of don't know what they are yet. So it might take them a little while. Pistons, Timberwolves. Timberwolves favored by 6.
T-Wolves.
Such an ugly game.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be everyone driving at the post and bricking shots. For the over/under in this game is 224, which I would smash the under for. I think this is gonna be one of those 80-75 games, unless like D'Angelo Russell can score a bunch, but we'll see.
You guys.
I'm picking Timberwolves for the record.
Wolves are gonna collapse the Pistons.
Yeah, I think they are. But I think it's gonna be ugly. Hawks, Bulls. Hawks favored by 2.
I go Hawks.
I'm gonna go Hawks as well.
I'll go Atlanta.
I want this Bulls team to work this year. I'm not like a Bulls fan or a Jordan shill or any of those things, but I would kind of like it if this Bulls team was like good this year. Not like 1 seed good, but
like 9th seed.
Kind of
yeah. Yeah, if they could, I don't know, if they were just a team that was kind of a pain in everyone's ass, and you went, damn, we have to play Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine tonight. Like, we're gonna win.
My Finnish brother.
Yeah,
Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, I like Lauri Markkanen a lot. I would just I would just like them to be competitive this year at least.
Because isn't there a play-in tournament now? It's like 9, 10, 11, and 12 or something.
I think it's you have to come within
7, 8, 9, 10. They play to see the last 2 spots.
I think it's like the bubble situation last year where you kind of have to be within a certain amount of wins, and then you could qualify for the plan, which I like. I'm a fan of that. I liked kind of the one and done or win 2 games and move on format they had. I thought that made things really interesting. So yeah, I'm all for it. Kind of got some crap games left. Heat, Magic.
Heat, obviously.
Hornets, Cavs.
Bruh.
Is anybody going to watch this?
No. Definitely not.
A rating of 0. It's on Fox Sports Ohio at 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern. If anyone's looking to watch that game,
yeah, I'll wait a half an hour and watch Bucks and Celtics.
Knicks Pacers.
Ew.
Yeah, Pacers.
Crap,
Yeah.
Pacers. I think we hit every game for tonight. That's a lot of games tonight. It's gonna be a good day. Yeah, that's a lot.
Then Christmas, you still have like 5
Christmas, you got a bunch for what's coming up on Christmas. It's Pelicans Heat, Warriors Bucks, Nets Celtics, Mavs Lakers, Clippers Nuggets. Man, they just
those are good games.
They nail that every year.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, there we go. That's our NBA little preview talk. Do you guys feel like you hit everything you needed to do about the NBA at least?
Definitely.
I think that's a good preview. We'll have lots more NBA stuff as the season continues, as we start to see what everyone else is doing, how teams look and all that. Right now, it's just kind of a big question mark at the beginning of the season, but we'll have lots more NBA for you as the year goes on. Fellas, should we move into a little NFL talk?
Yes, sir.
You guys got a little time for that?
Of course.
Let's talk about we're going to talk about the NFL, and it's coming up towards the end of the season. Playoff spots are being solidified and fought for. So we're just going to kind of talk about who the contenders are, who we think is real, and who might make it all the way. I'm just trying to type and talk at the same time. I'm trying to look up the NFL playoff picture. There we go.
The Steelers dipped, eh?
The Steelers have dipped hard. Losers of 3 straight games in a row, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boy, oh boy. So let's talk about the AFC, the teams that have clinched a playoff spot. That means they are locked in. The Kansas City Chiefs have clinched their division. The Buffalo Bills have also clinched their division. The Steelers have a playoff spot, but not the division yet. Hold that thought, because in the hunt, the Tennessee Titans at 10-4, the Cleveland Browns at 10-4, the Indianapolis Colts at 10-4, and the current 7th seed is the Miami Dolphins at 9-5. But they don't start fist pumping yet there, Ryan, because we got the Baltimore Ravens also at 9-5, and the Oakland Raiders are 7-7. Technically still in it.
So is it top 8 teams make it or no?
Top 7 teams make it. So
top 7, okay.
Right. Good point, Ryan. I should probably explain how this works for everyone who doesn't know the NFL playoffs as well as I do. So this year they have changed it so that the first seed gets a bye for the first week of the playoffs. 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, so on and so forth. But in years past, it was 6 playoff teams and 2 teams would get a first-round bye in each conference. But now it's just 1 team getting the first-round bye, and 2 has to play the 7th seed. So let's start with the Pittsburgh Steelers conversation. Started out 11-0, currently 11-3 after losing their last 3 games, and it's not like they lost to some premier teams. They lost to Washington and Cincinnati in that stretch. Do you guys think the Cleveland Browns have a chance to steal this division coming down? They play the Jets next week, and then they play the Steelers in Week 17. What do you guys think?
Damn, they could. That's crazy.
I think it's possible because the Steelers have the Colts this week, which are a tough team who's also looking to get back into the playoffs here. The Browns, I don't know. The Browns are the Browns, and they'll still be the Browns until the day that they're not the Browns, and that'll be the day that they win the division. And I think the Steelers still get this. I think they probably beat the Colts this week just because they're kind of ticked off as the way things have gone the last 3 weeks. And I think they still beat the Browns in Week 17 to win the division. But the Browns will beat the Jets this week. And even if they lose, they'll still be lose to the Steelers in Week 17. They'll still be a 11-win team, which I think gets them in the playoffs. Do you guys think the Cleveland Browns can make any sort of noise this year, though? Do you like what you've seen out of Cleveland this year? Baker Mayfield?
Baker's solid.
Baker's solid. He's more solid than I thought he was. I thought he was terrible. He's not good just yet, but he's real solid, which I like.
And OBJ kind of hurt them.
That hurt a lot. I think that hurt the confidence of their team.
They've done better though, no?
Yeah, no, it's true. I think what it's done for them is kind of force them to run the ball more, which turned out to be kind of the main strength of their team. So I like it. Yeah, I think I like what the Browns are doing right now. We'll see. They'll be in the playoffs, but I'm not sure what they'll do after that. Ryan, let's talk about your Miami Dolphins, man.
Yeah, I was just looking that up.
9-5.
I don't know if they're going to make it because the Ravens have the two easiest teams up in their last two games, and the Dolphins have some decent teams up ahead. So
right, Ravens have the Giants next,
and the Giants and the Bengals.
Yep. So they'll be 11-5 likely.
Yeah,
and the Dolphins have the Raiders, and then who?
The Raiders and the Bills.
The Bills, right? So it's very possible Miami could end up 9-7. Yeah. How do you feel about this season, Ryan? Even if this team doesn't make the playoffs, do you really want them to make the playoffs this year? And how do you feel about them going into the future?
If they make the playoffs, I'm happy. If they don't make the playoffs, I'm still happy because I haven't watched football in so long, but this year, I would check my phone and make sure that I was watching games, and I was excited for Tua, excited about the team. So I mean, either way, I think they still made me happy, but
yeah, I don't
think they'll make it. Being a realist, I think the Ravens will push it past.
Yeah, I'd be with you there. I think I'd pick the Ravens for that final spot, but like you said, super encouraging year. I think they blew expectations out of the water for what they do this year, and I think everyone can feel really great about what they'll do in 2021.
Yeah, and they just pick up a decent draft pick, and
yeah,
next year.
I'm all for that. Yeah, I don't think they're playing for this year. I think they're kind of playing for next year. Let's talk AFC playoffs then. Who do you guys have coming out as the AFC champion? I think realistically, we're going to kind of focus on just a couple teams here. Chiefs, Bills. I would throw Titans in the legit conversation. Outside of those three teams in the AFC, do you guys have anyone that you think could make it all the way to the Super Bowl?
No, sir.
No? Those three?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Then out of those three teams, who do you guys have it making it all the way to the Super Bowl out of the AFC?
Chiefs. My buddy Owen would probably be super happy right now, and I'm going to say the Bills.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to pick the Bills.
Yeah.
Chiefs. It's just the
Chiefs are dangerous.
It just is. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes, look, they don't try for a quarter and a half every game. And somewhere in mid-second, late third, they kind of wake up and score 20 straight points on you. So Bills are so good this year. I would just love it if they made it to a Super Bowl. But I think it might take one more year before they can really compete. And then Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill doesn't get nearly enough love for everything he's done for this Titans team. Derrick Henry is the best running back in football and a monster. So I don't know. I think they would be kind of my sneaky dark horse team to maybe make the Super Bowl of the AFC. Maybe if the Chiefs end up losing early on and the Titans can get through without having to play them, I'd feel pretty good about that. Let's go over to the NFC then. Currently number 1 is the Packers, 2 is the Saints, 3 is the Seahawks. All three of those teams have clinched playoffs, with the Packers winning the division. Number 4 currently is the Washington football team.
No way they're going to make the playoffs.
Number 5 is the Rams. Number 6 is the Bucks. 7 is the Cardinals. Ryan says no way Washington makes the playoffs. Why is that, Ryan?
No, I'm they're in a spot, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because they're 6-8 and they're still in.
Yeah, they're 6-8. Gosh. This division is a little crazy. It's possible the Giants still get in. I think Washington gets it and then gets destroyed in the first round of the playoffs. So they're not really a factor.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the teams on the bubble. Bears, Vikings, and then Cowboys, Giants, Eagles. But who cares? Bears or Vikings? Do you guys see either of those teams making it in? I think it's kind of a stretch. Bears, you think make it into the playoffs?
Bears, if anything. Yeah.
Because they'd be competing. Cardinals are 8-6 right now. Bears are 7-7. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. The Bears have the Jags this week. Cardinals have the Niners. Bears would have to win out. Yeah.
Jags and the Packers.
I'd probably stick with the Cardinals still. Yeah, I don't really see the Bears making the playoffs. I think things will kind of hold as they are with the Cardinals in the 7th seed. Let's talk about who the legit contenders are in the NFC, though, because it gets a little more confusing with this division.
A lot closer in the NFC.
Yeah, because you got Packers. To me, the realistic contenders are the Packers and the Saints. I think the Seahawks are just too sketchy on defense to really convince me of anything. So I'm going to go between the Saints and Packers. Rams I liked a couple weeks ago, and then they lost to the Jets, and I just can't. Buccaneers have Tom Brady, though. What do you guys – and Gronk, sure. Who do you guys see coming out of the NFC into the Super Bowl? This one's tough.
Packers.
Yeah. Packers. It's between Packers and Saints.
I was reading some crazy stats on Aaron Rodgers and how he's like the first player to do something. I don't know what it was, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers just looks crazy this year. Hold on, I'll try to look it up.
Yeah. Boy, I'm going to go you know what? I'm going to go Packers too. I was all Seahawks at the beginning of the year, but that defense is crazy. It's just too crazy, and I can't do it. I think the stat was that Aaron Rodgers was youngest to 400 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The one you're thinking of? Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is real good, and they've got pretty good offense.
No, he's the first player ever with 340-plus passing touchdown seasons.
340 – oh, okay. 40-plus touchdowns in 3 separate seasons. Yeah. Wow.
He's the first player to do
Aaron
that,
Rodgers is crazy and always has been and always will be. So I'll go Packers. Agreed?
And then do the Packers beat out the Chiefs or whoever whoever comes into the AFC? No?
No. I think whoever comes out of the AFC this year, Bills, Chiefs, Steelers, Titans, will beat whoever from the NFC. So I'd go Chiefs over Packers right now. It's my Super Bowl pick.
Is Drew Brees back for the Saints? Like, is he
yeah, he's
playing?
back. He's back now.
Oh, okay.
So they'll get him for the playoffs if he can remain healthy. There we go. That's our quick little NFL conversation. You guys feel pretty good about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are happy?
The Chiefs' offense is done. I was watching that game against the Saints. It's just
I saw that
it's
one
so
too.
Creative.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really something.
My buddy's a huge who'd they lose to? A huge Raiders fan, and when they beat the Saints, he was over the moon.
Yeah, the Raiders slipped out a couple good wins this year, and then just kind of fell off the map.
The Raiders, Chargers
game.
Young
team, aren't they?
Who's that?
You're talking to me or you're talking to Mark?
I don't know. Everyone talked at once. Who was the team you were talking about, Ryan?
The Raiders. They're a pretty young team, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty young. They've got some really good young pieces. I'd feel better about them next year than this year.
I want Mariota to start for the Raiders.
He looked good.
That Raiders Chargers game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he came in and played. He played really well in relief time.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota could be making a little comeback here for the Oakland Raiders.
What's his name? What's that rookie's Herbert on the Chargers?
Yeah, Justin Herbert, my guy.
He was sick.
He's sick. He's going to be really good for a long time if the Chargers can figure out their team at all. All right, that's our little NFL conversation here on Wednesday, December 23rd. Heading into the playoff season. Excited for that. And the start of the NBA season, which I know we're all very excited for. Guys, thank you so much for taking a little time out of your Christmas break to sit down and talk a little sports with me.
Always a fun time.
Yeah, right on. There we go. That'll be our last episode for Christmas or the holidays. So from Marauder Morning, we want to wish everyone safe and happy holidays to you and yours. We know we'll all be relaxing and celebrating. How are you guys celebrating the holidays? What's your go-to tradition?
Usually I would have my grandma and my aunt over early morning. We get up at like 8 and open presents and stuff. But obviously grandma's not coming over, aunt's not coming over. So it's just me, my mom, and my sister this year. So it's going to be different.
Yeah.
But
8 o'clock. Yeah. We're more of a 10:30, 11 wake up and open presents family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, you got any good holiday traditions?
Lockdown changes everything, man.
Yeah.
This is gonna be my first Christmas only spending it with like my immediate brother and parents, which is like so different.
Yeah. Well, hey, however you guys are celebrating the holidays, everyone out there, enjoy it safely. Have a happy time. From Marauder Morning, God bless and good luck.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, there you go. Mark, anything to say?
Merry Christmas.
Right on. We're not on the radio right now. We're coming back January 11th. But if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, hit that like, all that good stuff. Ring the bell, smash the like. We'll be uploading maybe a couple more episodes over the Christmas break, a little more sporadically. Then we'll be back to our regular schedule January 11th. Certainly talking some more NBA and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining me today to talk sports. And we'll see everyone in the next one.
Thank you.